So today we're going to be making a pinch pot creature, and I have instructions right here. So this will go over all these instructions on the left, and your creature, you're going to decide, is it going to be facing up or it's belly up or facing down like this so that it's open on the inside. That's completely up to you how you want to make yours, okay? But mine, I've started here as a little turtle, and mine's going to be facing down, so maybe it's pretty on a shelf and I hide things underneath. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. So the first thing you're going to need is your paper towel and your clay. The best tools are your fingers, but if you eventually want a tool, I have tools, and I of course have stamps for your initials and a little water for smoothing things out. So the first thing I like to do is I like to make mine into a nice little ball. Okay, and you can pack it like a snowball, roll it, but you know, it has to be ball-like. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth at this time, so don't take your time doing that because you'll dry it out. Once it's in a ball, then you're going to take your hand and hold it one side and your thumb, and it's going to push down in the center, okay? So this is the start of your pot, and the name pinch pot comes from pinching your fingers together. So I'm going to pinch a side, twist it, pinch a side, twist it, pinch a side, twist it. And I'm going to do this all along the edges, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure my walls are even, so when it dries out it's going to be driving out evenly. So I've got a nice inside. There's some rough areas on the outside. A little trick to that is placing it on your paper towel on the table, and I kind of press an area and I turn it, press an area and I turn it. And what this is doing is I'm using the hard table, the surface of the table, and when I'm pressing it, it's going to get some of those imperfections that I do not want. It'll remove them for me. So I just kind of do a little area at a time. Okay, so it's nice and smooth now. Now I've got some rough areas around here, so I may, just to make sure it's even, give it a really soft tap, not hard, and then I like to smooth it out with my finger without water first. Okay, and then I'll dip my finger in the water and smooth out. This is the lip of the pot. So notice how my fingers go on either side and on the very top, because we want everything to be nice and smooth so it doesn't cut anyone. So right now the clay is perfect clay. It's plastic, it's pliable, it's easy to move around, but next time when you come in, it's going to be bisqueware, so it's going to be like glass basically, so really hard. So I'm just smoothing things out. Notice that I was rubbing it in as I was smoothing it. And then maybe this one I want to be faced up, or maybe I want it to be face down. So, but I'm going to face it up because I did a little different from the last time. So I've got to think about what I'm going to make, what kind of animal I'm going to make. So maybe I'm going to have a dog, maybe I'm going to have a cat, maybe I'm going to have a lion, a cheetah, a monkey, anything you want. So I kind of think about what shape I want, and I can kind of push this in. Okay, so maybe this is the body, and I'll make like a little, let's say a start of a monkey head. So first of all, I get some extra clay. Let's see how much I want. So I've got my clay here. I'm gonna roll it into a ball. If I just stick it on like this, it's gonna eventually fall off. So I'm gonna score it. That's like when you put little X's on it. Okay, and then I like to use a little bit of slip water, put a little dot of that right there. Then you kind of wiggle it on, okay? Then I'm gonna hold it and blend, okay? And you have to at least have one side blended, or it's gonna be too fragile. And if I bend it too much, that's no big deal. It's so easy to push back together. So I like that. Then I'd roll little pieces for the ears to add on. And I always like to roll them out first to make sure they're even. More clay to that, then roll it out, flatten it just so slightly, and then we can add those on by scoring it. So those little X's, a little bit of dab of water, kind of wiggle them together, and then my finger's not going to work for that, so I'm going to use this tool to smooth it out. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Then if I have my little tail, this actually is looking like a panda bear to me, so maybe I'm gonna make it a panda bear. Tail, I like to start off with a rolled out ball, then I roll it into a coil, I think it's easier to roll coils on the table. And then if this was some sort of animal that had a tail, you just would set it where you want it. Okay, I want it right there. Score it. Score it. A little slip water, dab. Place it on there, give it a little wiggle, and add it. Okay, and then I could have it kind of curling around, doing whatever I want, okay? And if I want it to curl around and stay there, it will stay when it's dry, but I always like to just attach just one side. Then I use a little bit of water. Remember, too much water is not a good thing. You want to make sure you rub it in and smooth it out, and then just keep adding. And I could add little arms coming out like it's giving you a hug. I can manipulate this a little bit more. I kind of like the little shape like this. So the body's a little bit bigger and the head looks a little more proportionate. Whatever you want to make is fine with me. And then let's say I'm done. I have my ears on here. My face I'll paint on later. Then I'm gonna take my initials and stamp in my name, my initials. So my name starts with a B. My last name starts with a K. I'll stamp that in there, and then I'm gonna let that dry. And next time we'll be doing the painting. So that's what we're working on today. You can have a pot that is facing up or down. That's completely up to you.